teachers generally think of themselves as instructors. That's been the synonym. A teacher and instructor have been synonyms. But when we think about instruction, it's not necessarily done by the teacher anymore. And so their roles are shifting. And as Phil Shareski said, moving from primary role as instructor to designers and guides of learning. And even when I look at when it says driven by instruction, it doesn't say driven by those instructors. Yes, we need it, but it may not come from the teacher. And again, we heard this morning, there are people everywhere that can provide. There are people in the room that you're in that can provide that instruction. This isn't about the teacher. And so the teacher's shift in that role is really challenging, because that's easy to make a graph like that. But for those teachers that have done that, and the teachers you saw here, it's hard work. It really changes, and it means we've got to just do some things differently. And as Alvin Toffler said, the literate of this century will be those, not those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that's what we're trying to do. How do we relearn some things? And it's not throwing everything away. That's not what this is about. But so much of school has been about, there's a time and a place. You show up at 9 o'clock and you stay till 4 o'clock, and that's when learning happens. But we have to start accepting that that's not the place anymore. That learning happens not when someone wants to teach, but when someone wants to learn. And so we have to be able to thinking about, how do we get to that point? And we're not bound by time and space anymore. And so you started to see some of the things that help us get kids engaged, help us get kids thinking deeply about learning. Some of the conversations that you were having there were amazing. And so this is not just about, and there was a lot of cool stuff there, but there was also a lot of really deep, interesting conversations. And so again, I would just suggest to you that we're only scratching the surface, and there's a lot more to come.